Tatis Jr. and the Padres catch the birds napping and take 2 out of 3 by taking Game 3, 5-2. We'll talk about it in this one. Let's have a mound visit.
Let's go O's!
What's going on, Birdland? Baltimore Bobst here, and welcome to the Baltimore Bobst YouTube channel where we discuss all things Baltimore Orioles. And in this episode, we got to talk about the 5-2 loss to the Padres. And, it wasn't necessarily the worst baseball game. Dean Kremer didn't pitch terribly. He goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. He definitely did enough for the Birds to be able to get the W. Unfortunately, Snell was just fantastic. He goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. And obviously, Snell leads Major League Baseball right now in ERA. So let's go ahead and get into the box score. So the Baltimore Orioles have 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. San Diego has 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Baltimore Orioles batters. Adley Rutschman goes 2 for 4. Ryan Mountcastle goes 1 for 4 with that big solo shot. Anthony Santander goes 0 for 3. He had that sac fly to bring in Adley. Adley had some real good base running in the top of the first to get the Birds the early lead. Gunnar Henderson goes 1 for 3. Jordan Westburg goes 0 for. Austin Hayes goes 0 for but does draw a walk. Cedric Mullins goes 0 for. James McCann goes 1 for 3. And Jorge Mateo goes 0 for 2. And then Adam Frazier pinch hits for him later. He goes 0 for 1. Baltimore Orioles together go 5-4-30. Orioles pitching, like I said, Dean goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks on 94 pitches. When he leaves the game, it's 3-2. Fujinami comes in. He only pitches 2/3. He gets rocked. 2 earned runs off of 2 hits. He did give up that home run. And then Cionel Perez, he only goes 1/3, gave up a hit, and he had that real big play where Tatis Jr. caught him sleeping and stole home, and there wasn't even a throw at the plate. We'll talk about that later. Webb comes in to end the game, goes an inning, continues to pitch well, doesn't give any hits, no earned runs. So let's get straight into the play-by-play. So like I said, Snell's leading the Major League Baseball right now in ERA. It's going to be a real tough spot for the Birds to come through in Game 3. It's 1-1 rubber match right here in San Diego. And don't forget, San Diego was a real, it's a good team. It really is a good team. They got a lot of talent throughout. Obviously, you got Manny Machado, Tatis Jr., you got Grisham. You got a bunch of good guys. You got Soto, a bunch of good baseball players throughout their lineup, but they are below 500. And so this is a team that obviously the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles, you would like to see them at least get 2 out of 3 when we're talking about even being at their spot at Petco Park. But Snell takes the hill, and off the jump, Rutschman's able to single to center. Ball gets away from the catcher as Mountie comes up, and he's able to block it, keep it in front of him. But Adley Rutschman makes a real good dirt ball read, and he takes second base, takes that additional 90 feet, putting him in scoring position. Mountie has a real loud out number 1 by flying out to right center, which pushes Adley to third. And then Anthony Santander hits a sac fly to right to score Rutsch for the early 1-0 Baltimore lead. And then, Dean kind of cruised through 2, and then we get to the bottom half of the third. So Birds were up 1-0. Dean Kremer had a real tough third inning. Grisham walks, starts the bottom half of the third with a walk. Kim singles to right, pushing Grisham to third. That's runners on the corners with no out. And then Tatis Jr. singles to left, scoring Grisham, and Kim goes to second. So Tatis Jr. knots it up 1-1. Soto fouls out to third, real big out. Machado strikes out swinging, super big out, still 1-1. And Dean just couldn't put it together to end the inning without getting touched up a little bit. So Bogart singles to center, scoring Kim. Tatis Jr. moves to third, and then Cronenworth singles to center. Tatis Jr. scores. Bogarts goes to second. Birds end up getting out of it, but it's already 3-1 Padres. So then we get to the top half of the sixth. Snell's still on the hill. Like I said, he is just thinking rolling through. Rutschman flies out to center. Then Mountie comes up and has a really, really good at-bat. Snell throws him a 2-2 curveball that is actually real low in the zone, but Ryan Mountcastle goes down and touches it up. And you can tell off the bat that he got enough to send it out of the park. 408 feet to left center. And I think the statistic is third time to the lineup. Opposing hitters are only batting 122. And from that pitch, he had a real good batting average coming off that pitch. But Ryan Mountcastle was able to reach down and elevate it, get it over that left center field wall to cut the lead to 3-2. So Dean gets through the sixth. So now we get to the bottom half of the seventh. 3-2 Padres. Fuji comes in, and Gamble flies out to center, gets the first out, and then Grisham hits a solo shot to left center, 388 feet, putting the Padres up 4-2. Then Kim grounds out to third. Tatis Jr. follows it up by single into left, and then Cionel Perez comes in and replaces Fujinami. Now, one of the interesting things here is that when Cionel comes in, he makes a throw over to first. It gets away from Ryan Mountcastle with Tatis Jr. at first base. Tatis Jr. is able to get all the way to third base. And then some real heads-up base running. Obviously, with the left-handed pitcher with his back to you, Tatis Jr., he catches Cionel slipping, and he just makes a mad dash for the plate. And you could see James McCann trying to call out the Cionel, and he just didn't see him in time to be able to step off and make a move to the plate. And Tatis Jr. steals home, which was an exciting play, but obviously that's not good for the Baltimore Orioles. Moves the game to 5-2 Padres. And the Birds are unable to bounce back and get back into the game. So Birds lose 2 out of 3 to the San Diego Padres, a below 500 team, and that obviously pushes their West Coast trip to 3-3. And now they go into probably the worst team in baseball, the Oakland Athletics. And I think that it's safe to say that we need to sweep this team. The A's are struggling. I think the Birds need to have at least a 6-3 road trip, especially going into Oakland. Oakland's got a lot of issues right now. Obviously, they're moving later, and it's just not a very good baseball team. So we need to see the Birds go in there and handle business and end this road trip with a 3-game winning streak, and go 6-3 on that West Coast trip. That'd be real good before the Birds return home. Now, unfortunately, the Tampa Bay Rays also won, which means that the Birds' lead in the AL East is back down to 2 games. So, 5-2 loss to the Padres pushes the Baltimore Orioles record to 74-47. They will be taking on the Oakland Athletics tonight at 9:40. Kyle Gibson will be on the hill for the Birds. He'll be going up against Luis Medina, who's 3-8, 5.31 ERA, and a 1.53 WHIP. And Birds need to go in there and handle business. There's no reason that we should not sweep this baseball team right now with all the things that they're struggling with. So Baltimore leads the season series right now 3-1. We need to go in there and handle business before we return home to Baltimore. There is no reason that we should struggle against the A's, who have only won 34 baseball games this year. That's less than half of the Baltimore Orioles. So, hey, tough little series. 2 out of 3. You win the first one, you think you're going to be good. And the Padres played really good baseball the last 2 games, and they're able to take 2 out of 3 from the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles. And we'll see what they can do tonight. Who do you want on the hill more than Kyle Gibby, the old guy, if you will? Obviously, he's not old, but he's definitely one of the more seasoned guys in our starting rotation. So 9:40, O's, A's, and we'll see if the Birds can make it happen. No sweat, Birdland. Calm down. I know it's 2. I know it's a below 500 team. The Padres are actually a pretty decent baseball team. Maybe they've underperformed, if you will, obviously. And the Birds will be all right. We'll handle business tonight, and everything will be okay. And then we'll get back home to the East Coast, back to Camden Yards, and we'll start handling business there. So just hang in there, Birdland. Everything's okay. We'll see you on the next one.